Lifetime Achievement Award that was first given to Mr. Archie Monroe, and most of you here know what that individual meant to the community. I think this individual that we're recognizing tonight also has meant the same things to this community. We're recognizing tonight Judge Joe Mullins. And as I give you some of his accomplishments, I'd like for Ellie and Mrs. Mullins to join me on the stage while I do this. Oh, we're going to have all the girls. Good. Judge Mullins was truly invested in the community. He put his heart and soul into making it a better place. He served in public office in Columbia County across 5 decades. He served as Justice of the Peace, 3 terms Columbia County Judge, Mayor of Emerson a total of 14 years. He was well known as a public servant in any of these capacities and respected for his many accomplishments that provided a better quality of life for the Columbia County citizens. He was well versed in grants that he was able to obtain to save taxpayer money. He was awarded Mayor of the Year by the Arkansas Municipal League in 2005 and was recognized by the Arkansas Community Development Program as a certified public manager. He was a co-founder of the Purple LP Festival. He was well-rounded with knowledge on how to fix things, anything from electrical issues at the festival to a transmitter for the fellow ham radio operators to a weird noise that might be happening in one of his daughter's cars. He knew how to do it all, and if he didn't, his response was, "Let me get back to you." He brought a smidgen of fame to the area with his passion for acting. He held a Screen Actors Guild card and was cast in 49 movies, including Secretariat, True Blood, and W. He also was in many Hallmark movies and a few commercials. Judge Mullins was an active member of the Magnolia Rotary Club, where he held a Paul Harris Fellowship and enjoyed volunteering his time with the Rotary Club during the county fair, delivering dictionaries to the local schools. He was also active with the Columbia County Amateur Ham Radio. He enjoyed the ham radio as a hobby, but he was also very keen on the importance of maintaining the communication during disasters. He was a former volunteer for the Emerson Fire Department and a member of the Columbia County Fair Board. He had a full life with a servant's heart and continuously watched for us to have a better place to live. Help me recognize the family of Judge Mullins.
Thank you. Well, we can see why I was chosen. I'm just joking. We are honored to accept this award on Dad's behalf. Throughout his life, he was all about making things better and being progressive with his actions. He knew when to ask for help, but he also knew when to take the bull by the horns just to get the job done. His work ethic and his tenacity was ingrained in all of us. My 3 sisters are here as well. Della, she's the oldest. We have Anita, who is next. She's the oldest. And then we have Angela, the other one. She's also known as the other one. None of us have figured out his parenting secrets. We knew what he meant when he said anything. We knew he meant then and there. We didn't buck him, and that's just how it was. I would say that Dad's motto would have been never let success get to your head and never let failure get to your heart. Dad wasn't afraid of trying for the fear of failing. He had many, many setbacks throughout his political career, but it never seemed to bother him, even though we knew that it probably did. He just kept pushing. No matter how much we moaned and groaned at the mere thought of another election as a kid, I'm pretty sure some of y'all probably have heard that from your kids, probably over in this area somewhere. And sometimes we also had to give up our precious weekends to help out with some sort of thing that he had volunteered us for. But he kept pushing, and he didn't push for himself. He didn't push just to see if he could win. He kept pushing for you and for the community. For him, it was community over competition, and he did have a very true servant's heart. I've had many reach out to me and say they had no idea what all he had done until they either read Mike McNeil's diary or the wonderful piece that JD had written in the Banner News. We appreciate both of you for doing that, by the way. That's because he wasn't the type to just say, look what I did. He worked in the background to make things happen. But if we did something, he was sure to tell you about it. So he only boasted about us, not himself. I know if he was here today, he would graciously be humbled by this award. He would thank my mom for sticking by him for the past 53 years and for being the ultimate volunteer. But I will say after a couple of times of volunteering her, he quickly stopped. And that's whenever he would say, I'll get it handled, and then he would come to us and say, okay, you're doing this because I'm not volunteering your mother anymore. So he would also he would thank all 4 of us just for being awesome daughters. And I would like to think that he would thank us for challenging him sometimes and for keeping him on his toes, or for coming to him for advice and making sure that we all stuck together as sisters. I want to thank Rotary of Magnolia for sponsoring this award. Dad loved going to Rotary. He would call me every week to see if I was going so we could have lunch together. But it was also his way of being very frugal. He and I were able to have lunch together, and he didn't have to pay. So. He would also like for me to, or he would want for me to leave you with a few words of encouragement. So here's a quote by Mary Ann Williamson. In every community there is work to be done. In every nation there are wounds to be healed. And in every heart there is power to do it. Thank you for this award. We appreciate it more than you know.